Welcome to Roses for Adventure. My name is Sonia, and today I'm going to share in this video what happens when there is a hurricane when you're on a cruise or just before your cruise vacation. When hurricanes and tropical storms threaten the coasts, how might this affect your cruise vacation? It could be severely impacted and in severe cases even canceled. Now, of course, we hope that that does not happen, but there are so many things that the cruise lines do to ensure your safety and make sure you have a wonderful cruise vacation even if there is a storm. Both the Harmony of the Seas and the Carnival Dream were in the Gulf of Mexico at the time that Hurricane Beryl hit the coast of Texas. There were 20-foot waves spotted and they had some rough seas ahead. Both ships were successfully able to steer around the hurricane and get to their destination safely. We'll go over the top 10 things that typically happen. Before we get started, hit that subscribe button so that you can be notified each time we come out with new channel content. Also, if you find this video helpful or informative in any way, hit that thumbs up button and like it, as it does show your support to this channel and showing that you're liking this content. Let us know down in the comments if you have any questions or would like to add anything that has happened to you in past cruises or experiences you may have had. Without further ado, let's get into how hurricanes can affect your cruise vacation. So most recently in the news, Hurricane Beryl was through the Gulf of Mexico and impacted the cruise port in Galveston, Texas. There are many different things that can happen to impact your cruise vacation when there is a hurricane, especially when the cruise port itself is impacted by the hurricane. So first and foremost, it can result in port closure, which is what happened in Galveston with Hurricane Beryl. There was some flooding and some issues with power and not having electricity, so they were not able to have the escalators running, the elevators, or any of those types of things running to get people off of the cruise ship. So in this instance, it may actually extend your cruise vacation and you just kind of have to hang out until the port is ready. So this can cause some docking delays, which did happen to the Mariner of the Seas Royal Caribbean ship. It was delayed in getting back into port, which then affects the next cruise. The next cruise, then passengers cannot get on to the ship on time. Another major thing that can affect your cruise vacation if there is a big tropical storm or a hurricane are itinerary changes. This is subject to happen at any point throughout any cruise. It does happen as well if there is any sort of civil unrest in whatever port you're going to be stopping at. Recently, this past year, they actually had to close down the Labadee, Haiti port, which is Royal Caribbean's private portion of that island, but it is connected to Haiti mainland, and there was quite civil unrest, so they did have to close that port. They can actually decide not to go to a port if there are weather issues, if there is so much damage from a storm that they will choose not to go to that port. They may skip altogether and not do a port day that day, or they may choose to go to a different port. Cruises will often change their itinerary to avoid hurricanes, rerouting to safer port, or staying at sea away from the path of the storm. If the weather threat is very severe, there is a good chance that the cruise could be canceled altogether. Passengers are then offered to either rebook their vacation or receive a refund. Number 4 we touched on briefly, but extended voyages. Ships may extend their voyage so that they can wait out the storm, which delays their return to port. Number 5, there are communication updates that will happen. The cruise wants to keep you informed about what's going on, especially when you're on board. So they will keep you updated on any changes that may happen to your itinerary or anything that is going to be affecting the storm's path. So they will keep you informed on the storm status and the ship's path and destinations if they are changing. Number 6 is important, and you'll go over all of these things when you get on board any cruise ship. No matter how many times you've cruised, you'll go over some safety drills. These are essential so that all of the passengers know exactly what to do in case of an emergency or if something goes wrong, how to get to your lifeboats, just so that passengers and crew are completely prepared for any emergency that may happen. Number 7, what the cruise lines will do to ensure passenger safety is that they may secure the ship. This means that they may close down outdoor areas if it is incredibly wavy or if there is a big storm overhead. This happened to Voyager of the Seas this past January, where they went through very wavy seas, a very big storm, lots of rain. The pool chairs were blowing everywhere, so they were tied down, and they did not allow passengers to go on the outdoor areas of the ship. Number 8 is extra onboard activities to keep you engaged and make sure that you're still having an awesome vacation even if you can't go outside. This may also include extra entertainment and shows. Of course, the shows may be canceled because of the weather. If the seas are too rocky, the performers are not able to perform in those types of conditions. Cruise lines will always coordinate with authorities, the port authorities, and maritime and weather authorities so that they're all up to date and make sure that you are safe on your vacation. And lastly, medical preparations will happen so that they make sure that you are safe, and especially incidences of seasickness, which may be on the rise if you are on rough seas. Again, the cruise lines do their best to avoid rough seas and storms so that you can still have a great vacation even if there is an impending storm. My recommendation and a great way to stay up to date on what's happening on cruise ships, or if you're going on a cruise and wondering what's going on board, if there's any damage to the ship, etc., how people enjoyed their cruise, or if there's any news from on board the ship while there is a storm, join the Facebook group for that cruise line. It is very helpful. There are people on board that will post about their experience and how things are going. If there are any delays, it can help keep you informed about that. So how does this affect your cruise vacation? Obviously, there are changes that could happen at any point, really on any cruise that you go on. You are subject to any changes that they make. Luckily, they still try to take great care of you and want you to have a wonderful vacation. Does this affect how you would see cruising, and would you choose this as a vacation? Or is it too risky? Do you feel like you like to be in control? Let me know down in the comments what your thoughts and ideas are about this. What else should happen if there is a hurricane or tropical storm? Do you have any experience with this? Let me know down in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you on our next adventure.